So today we were supposed to read through the introduction. That's as far as we were getting today, the preface, the opening elements, as well as the intro. I got a lot of stuff highlighted and tabbed already, and yet I want to hear from you guys first. What hit you right between the eyes?
The book was written in 2000, what was it? 2006, 2007. So the stats from back when were on the preface talking about how many corporations are failing, directorship changes, company changes, control every 15 minutes. I mean, these numbers are staggering. So it makes you realize that most people start a business without a plan, or at least that's my perception. And when I think about our last 7 months, 8 months, more, I have felt more focused on my business than I have in a long time. And I'm not sure everyone else is getting that, but if you're reading on the schedule, you're reading the stuff, you can't help but change. That's my takeaway right now. And I really am glad about this, because if you think about it, I've been in business now for over 30 years and I'm still in business. So I'm one of the percentage that actually is, and I'm not saying I'm a huge success, but I'm selling, I'm doing something.
Well, how long have you been in real estate?
Since 1989 is residential.
So 1989. I want to have a little fun with you. I'm going to give you a project while we're here, just to really understand how special you are, Celeste, because what is the turnover rate in real estate? In other words, what percentage of real estate agents on average fail out every year?
I think it's the 80-20 principle.
Pretty close.
So the number I've heard is we have a 30% loss every year. But let's use your number and 20%. So from 89 to 90, 80% was left, right, of the people you started with. From 90 to 91, 64% were left of what you started with. Because it's 20% of 20% of 20% of 20%. You run that model since 1989 to current.
Yeah, I don't know those numbers. Never thought about it.
And I bet you will, and only using a 20% number. And I bet you will discover, Celeste, that you are in very, very rarefied air. That you are a unicorn in this industry. Top, I bet you're in the top 1/500th% as you run this math. Okay?
It's wild.
And by the way, this is for all of you that are still here. You're doing the work. Let's just take the rarefied air for those of you that are here and have been here since day one, playing all out and doing the work and showing up. You are unicorns. Those that are showing up now and committing. All right, starting with this piece. I'm playing all in going forward in growing me and making myself better through learning, which I know is going to make my business better. I asked you guys before, we have read 15 books so far in this room since August of last year. When was the last time Coach Russ read 15 books in a year? When do you think, Celeste?
I shouldn't be laughing. It's not you I'm laughing about. It's me.
It's okay to laugh. When do you think it is? When was the last time I read 15
College.
books in a year?
Yeah, I don't remember. I have them, but do I read them?
How about for me? The answer is never. What we're doing in here, though, I'd love for you guys to pick out from the content we've just covered, what is going to be our mantra going forward that the people that are here doing the work have already been living? What do you guys have?
My mantra?
It's right here. in the
Pig-headed
content.
discipline and
What was
determination.
that?
Pig-headed discipline and determination.
Yes.
Boom!
Bingo.
Over and over and over. Pig-headed discipline and determination. That is going to be the number one thing we install. If it's all we get done in the next 30 days with each and every one of you, that you're living pig-headed determination and discipline. Let's go back to Celeste a minute.
Coach,
Has she
you
had
have to tell people
challenges?
where you got that though.
It's
in
right
the
there.
book.
It's over
It's in
and
the book.
over and over in the introduction.
Yes.
Highlighted over and over and over. I want to come back to you though, Celeste. Celeste had some really crappy years since 1989? Has the market treated her like crap? Have there been times maybe financially she was wiped, emotionally she was wiped, relationship she was wiped, and she has lived absolutely pig-headed determination and discipline to get here where she is today. Ryan, man, I have watched you heads down commit to growing you. And you are where you are because of this absolute pig-headed discipline and determination that you bring. And I can't wait for others to lean into this. What else you guys pulling out of the content?
Coach Russ, this is Jennifer. I really loved the letter from Amanda. And two pieces from that. First of all, the fact that she also had a spiritual guru, someone to help her with the actual mind piece. And then I love at the end of her letter where she talked about success can be sweet and enjoyed if achieved with humility and gratitude. Success gained through ego and anger only manifests in stress, which ultimately steals everything from us. But the letter itself was like really beautiful.
Yeah, it was an amazing piece of writing. And I love that you highlighted that last piece of success, sweet enjoyed if achieved with humility and gratitude. Those two pieces have to be part of your mentality going forward to really have a high level of success that you're enjoying. Camacho, you got something to add? I can tell because your mic's off. What do you got?
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. But I might add to the other thing about the pig-headed determination is pig-headed open-mindedness to grow. Because we are coming up with so many things that sometimes hit us right between the eyes on the forehead, and we're like, holy cow, that is a different way of seeing things, or maybe that is a really good opportunity for us to look into the mirror and wonder, why am I where I am? Why am I the way I am? And am I willing to change to get better for me and my family?
Dude, I really appreciate you bringing that in because there are folks in our world that have pig-headed determinedness to undermine themselves, to live a life, to live their programming that is not serving them. And so I want to make sure that we are focused on, as he says, that pig-headed determination to be open-minded, along with what we're learning here to be implementing, to be making these things happen. That is brilliant, Robert. Thank you. What else?
I loved the little story on page 2 about the salesman who said it didn't work. He got only 2 out of 10 people to say yes. And that, first of all, if you get more than 1 out of 10, you're doing really well. But just the thought of not listening to other people when they say things aren't working, or it's, shouldn't do that. Don't bother with that. We can learn from that story.
Yeah, it was a great piece how the author, Chet, took in some education and training to this company on how to increase the bottom line. We're going to kind of change some of our language. And this is a big piece of this, talking about bringing market data into your product data, into your service data. You guys will talk all day long about what you've accomplished or how you did it, how you've done it. Yet you've got to have, quote, market data that hits people emotionally. And we're going to talk a lot more about that going forward in the content. And we talked a lot over the last 7 months about pain and pleasure, and there's more in here on that. So getting out of the analytic data and really bring in, quote, market data that moves them emotionally. And so he did this for this company, rewrote their script to change it was a carpet cleaning company, for those that haven't read it yet. And when they looked at their data, massive carpet cleaning company, their client, they were talking like you guys. Oh God, I love how it ties to real estate. I need new leads. I need new leads. They were in the same place. We need new people to clean carpets for. And he came back to, well, with your current clients, are we getting the most out of them? Well, they come once every 3 years. Well, how about we find a way to get them once every 6 months? 6x their current clients. And by bringing in this additional content, this additional way of presenting the material of what they do and why they do it, what the effect on the consumer is, they started getting this shift. And yet the salespeople that were implementing it, the complaint was, gosh, we're just getting going. It's only 20% conversion. A couple other things on this piece that were critical to me. Pig-headed discipline and determination. We're going to keep coming back and making this work, and keep coming back and working it. And it took 6 months of pig-headed discipline and determination to get every salesperson offering that service to every prospect every time. They focused on that one thing over and over for 6 months, and all of a sudden got massive production. Let's hear the numbers at the end. When he started working with the staff, the lowest sales rep was doing $13,000 a month, and the average was $35,000 a month. After this 6-month focus on this new way of selling, the lowest rep was $49,000. So almost a 4x conversion in 6 months. And the highest rep was doing $100,000 a month. Big shift on just focusing on a little thing with pig-headed discipline and determination. That's what we're looking for you guys. What else? What else came from the intro or the pre-work?
Russ, I think for me, a lot of it was it's broken into simple pieces. It's a few things, and I don't know if it's from the intro or from right after that, but you get it in the intro as well. He's alluding to the fact that it's not a lot of things. It's a few things practiced again and again and again. And mindset, the pig-headed determination was the first step. And then I also listened to him talk about how it's not just one script. It's like, we're going to break this in and get good at a lot of things. We're going to get many ways to approach one situation. We're going to dig in and go deeper on a few things than going wide on a lot of things. And I think that's going to be a really big thing about this group and this book and what we're going to accomplish in the next 30 days.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kara, I see your hand. What you got, dude?
So speaking of, doing the one thing right, I think this book is going to encompass a lot of aspects from our very first book that we read together. I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like that's kind of where it's going. Maybe.
Yeah, what's entertaining for me too, Kara, as I'm reading this? People that have delivered content written subsequent, a lot of it comes back here. And I've told you guys before, all this filters down ultimately to some really significant tomes that maybe were written about 2,000 plus years ago. It's still all the same stuff. It's focused on the little pieces that really matter and accelerate you the best. It's coming into this with an open mind, as Coach Robert said, and a loving heart, like we've talked about in this place. And it's really running as a tribe versus attempting to do it all yourself. Having the people around you, leaning into them, and all of us doing it together is going to make big things happen. And again, it's right here in the Nafretha, did I pronounce it correctly?
Can I just say something?
Hold on,
Oh.
Klein, because Nafretha had her hand up.
I'm
I
having
saw it
trouble
go,
here.
and I want to honor and
Can you say
respect
that
her.
again?
for being
Absolutely.
It's Nafretha.
on. Nafretha, well, welcome, my dear. First time seeing you. Welcome to our morning mindset group. What have you pulled out of the material?
I don't know if I'm a little bit ahead, but I was listening to when he started talking about how he was trying to master karate and how he took the ball and tied it to the ceiling fan, and just the idea of continuing and it's as he mastered little skills, he got more confident in himself. And to me, that was like a major thing, right? Sometimes just doing that same thing consistently, right, with the pig-headed discipline and determination, you may not get everything correct, but if you keep doing it little by little by little, it also has an internal effect as well that boosts the motivation, boosts the self-confidence, and give you more the ability and fight to go ahead and maneuver. So to me, that was like amazing, to the point where he was doing kicks, he could hit it with the elbow and the foot, like every part of his body. And it no longer hit him, because in the beginning he said it would hit him, like he would punch it and it would go, but then it would come back and it would hit him. And then as he got more effective and efficient in his skill, he could do all the different tricks and the ball wouldn't even touch him. So I thought that was like amazing. It shows if you just keep doing the little steps, eventually, you'll become that master.
Well, and the other piece I love about this, you bringing this into the room, Nafretha, right?
Yes.
All right, and I'm going to keep practicing that so I have it nailed. Is he had one thing to do, which was stop that ball from hitting him. He had multiple different ways that he ultimately perfected, which helped him with his entire skill set. Somebody could have said, okay, I've got this ball with this one piece. Now I'm going to go on to this next way.
Right.
This is coming back to this one little piece at a time. Client, what do you got?
Yeah, hey, just talking about the whole karate thing. I remember I was reading something, and it was a one-handed karate. It was a someone who was learning karate, and the challenge that he had only one hand, and his teacher kept on giving him this one exercise to do again and again and again, and it was frustrating him. He couldn't understand, why is he getting this one thing. Well, he went to champion. He went to the championships to do his thing, and he won everything. And he said, "Wow, how did I win? I only have one hand." And the teacher said, "Well, basically, what happened is I taught you the one thing that you would need that no one else could do, because in order for someone to beat you, they had to have you had to have the other hand for them to grab onto." So by him learning that one thing with simplicity again and again and again and again, he knocked everyone else out. And I thought that was so interesting, that simplicity of doing the one thing right again and again and again. That's what I'm working on.
Well, success is simple, not easy. Success is simple, just requires pig-headed discipline and determination. Don Hobbs, I see you going.
Well, I wanted to jump in on what client was following on Nafretha, and that is, it reminded me a little bit of the Karate Kid. There's, it's wax on, wax off, paint the fence. Like there was only a few things, and client, to your point, this guy is getting frustrated, and like, God dang it, teach me how to fight. And then of course, all those basic moves were the ones that cleared out everything and won him the championship in essence. So again, I think we're going to get very focused with this book. I can see, a lot of a few things that are going to move the needle a lot. And we're going to drive deep on that stuff. I'm very excited about this book.
We're on the pursuit of mastery, guys. And mastery is not about being special or more gifted than anyone else. Mastery is a direct result of pig-headed discipline and determination. One of my favorite comparisons in this room. Coach Robert is phenomenal at conversations. He is incredible at communication. And when he finally engages with people, magic happens. He slaughters me on that stuff. And yet I'm here in this room because I've just been 3.5 years over and over and over, continuing to incrementally get better and better. As Robert's leaning into it now and getting, man, he's going to accelerate right past me because he's got that natural gift combined with this discipline and this determination. What else you guys have from the content?
I'll add to that. This, as I read a little ahead, it starts to remind me of like ninja selling, where it's very almost like a Bible. To saying like this is it, like you're gonna carry this, because I've listened to the ninja selling again, and there's so much information that I forgot that I even read, and so listening to it again, so it just, I've a good feeling about this book as well. The way that he said it's set up, 12 chapters, it's like 12 each, 12 different ways of building this sales machine. So just to say, to back up Don as well, I'm pretty excited to continue to read on with this book.
Oh, and you hit something I definitely want to have a little fun with. It. What kind of machine is it?
Ultimate sales machine.
Prospecting focused, marketing enhanced to get you rocking. And that's why he set these things up. He says here in the intro, I am setting this up with the foundational pieces first, which we're going to get into, and then kicking into really getting sales. And then all of a sudden this whole marketing piece, which I know Don's going to lean into, because once you get I always use the magic pending number in working on production. Once we get your pending up to the right number, then we can really start leveraging, because we have resources of finances and we have resources of comfort. We know revenue's coming in, to really lean into marketing. So just know it's the ultimate sales machine that will lean into the ultimate sales and marketing machine, and ultimately the marketing and sales machine. Don probably went to go grab something. I know him. What else you guys have from the content?
Well, what stood out for me was when she was talking on the letter, that there is so much overwhelm for businesses today. And I think that's exactly what we are living right now. We feel like there's a lot of noise and a lot of change. And because of that, it's when we are going to need this determination more than any other time. Yeah. And also the checklists and the systems to follow up and follow through with everything. And obviously the determination is key, but also learning, getting ready, preparing for these new changes, and to make sure that we are going to succeed when all this overwhelm it's around us. But definitely the determination and the systems are going to be key for that.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Most of that overwhelm is determined by ourselves. We created ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to get out of that habit. That being said, I want to shift gears a little so we make sure we're setting ourselves up for success now. Because I have talked about my 4 cornerstones of success. Number 1 is calendar. Number 2 is database. Number 3 is conversations. Number 4 is knowing your numbers. Calendar, database, conversations, numbers. The next chapter after the introduction, the first chapter, what do you think it is for Chet Holmes?
Time management.
Otherwise known as the calendar, right, Caesar? So the
I'll add to it, because like I said, I could not read, because I was like, this is awesome. So I will say I plugged in some of the things that he talked about in that chapter already last week, because I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm like, wait, let's just get that on the list, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, so amazing. That's why I sound like this is very ninja salesy, because you can implement it right away, and it's a great foundation the way it's set up of how you should be setting up, just like building a home, your foundation first, and then adding everything on top of it.
Amen. And Judy, absolutely what you put in there, implementation, not ideas, is the real key to success. Ryan, I'm going to come to you and then we're going to wrap it.
I guess I was going to piggyback on what Judy said. Like, I love the book stuff. I love the mindset stuff. But if you're not implementing or you're not executing, you're just reading for fun and you're not in business with it. So find some stuff that you can immediately apply and run to it. Don't walk to it, run to it.
Did you just drop a butt on me, by the way?
I don't know.
You did.
It may be in my vernacular once in a while.
We're going to clear that out because it's an and you guys are going to implement at a high level. So we are going to read all of chapter 1 before tomorrow. We might reread it again for Wednesday, and Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be on really dialing in our calendar and our schedule. So make sure you read it. Make sure you're ready to have conversations about it. Today being Monday, we have the builders meeting 2 to 3, and our conversation time is just 3 to 5. So at 3 o'clock today, that half hour, I would love people to show up, and instead let's have a conversation about the content and implementing some of this. Today it's just the intro, not as big deal. Tomorrow, though, for sure, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 to 2:30, I plan on having implementation conversations, coaching to help you guys make this happen, as well as activity of you doing it, so we can play this at a high level.
Hey,
appreciate you all being here. What was that?
And to satisfy the high D's.
Amen.
Hey, Russ, as we're looking ahead, and I appreciate very much what you're setting us up for, tomorrow if you're in here and you said, we're looking at dividing the group up and going, here's agent attraction, here's production. I'd love to have anybody here who's serious about taking that forward on the agent attraction side join us on Tuesdays for accelerators. And I want to put that on your calendar today. If it's not already there, put it on your calendar today, because I want to use this as a lift for the next 30 days while we're in this book.
Yep.
Okay.
Last thing on this, guys, this is going to be life-changing and game-changing. Who do you love enough that you can hold them accountable to show up with you in this room? Let's get some more of our fellow agents. If you've got a team, make your team commitment. They're in here every day, 9 to 9:30 as we're doing this. Outside organizations, this is broker agnostic and industry agnostic. You have friends in other industries that are running a business. Let's get them in here and plug them in and help them. All right.